Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's reading vlog. More importantly though, happy Book Lovers Day. When this comes out, it should either be on or around Book Lovers Day, which is August 9th, and in celebration of that and in honor of that, I would love to thank today's sponsor and the reason for this video, which is Burga. So thank you to Burga for sponsoring today's video. Burga has provided us with a book bingo inside of here to pick our reads for today's video. I'm so excited to open this. It has been sitting in my room for a couple days now and it's just like such an ominous little box. I need to know what's inside of here, so let's do the unboxing. Let's see what's inside of here and let's pick our first read for today's reading vlog. Opening the box, it's like a little story fairy tale that says, once upon a time someone needed a break, so they held the key to their next adventure. Unlock your next chapter. If you haven't heard of Burga before we get into this box, they are my favorite accessory brands for all my electronics. They have so many cute designs. They're always keeping up with the trends. Every time I go on their website, there's a new design up there that I'm immediately obsessed with. If you've noticed in plenty of my videos, the phone cases that I have are always Burga, and I don't know where my Kindle is right now, but I have a cheetah Burga case on there and I'm obsessed with their stuff. My computer case has a Burga case on there. My AirPods, my big ones and my small little ones both have Burga cases on there. I love their brand. And inside of this box we have not only two cases, so we have the Tough case. This one's the sleeker design. It's slimmer, but it also has the bezeled edge to protect your camera, which I love so much, and it just fits really well on the phone. It's really nice to hold and slip inside your pocket. And then also we have the Elite case. This is a really protective case that I love so much. It has the bezeled edge as well. This one has like a gold outlining, which I really love, and then also the inside is really soft. The material in there is really nice, so if you drop your phone, the back of your phone is also protected. Then they also included some dice for us to use for our bingo board. Of course, they have the bingo board inside as well. Then we have a new Kindle case, which I am ecstatic about. I love my cheetah one so much, and one thing I love about the Kindle cases is when you open it, it has this magnetic hold on the back and then also a strap, which is so convenient and so useful. Every time I'm using my Kindle, my hand is in the strap. And then along with that, I have a new Mac case. This one, it matches my Kindle, which I'm so excited about. We got some navy stripes over here, which I feel like is a timeless pattern, and I was so excited to pick this one out. And then we also have a tumbler that is so cute. It says one sip, one story at a time, with an extra straw lid to go with it as well. I love the pattern of this one. I love what Burga does, including us book lovers, into their designs and everything. Whatever you like reading, whatever genre you like reading, there's actually a design you can match to your phone case, your headphones, your computer, whatever device it is, which I love so much. I'm going for a bit of a summer theme right now with my phone cases, and along with my Kindle case and Mac case, I feel like it's very summer themed, summer reads, and I love that they're celebrating National Book Lovers Day, so I'm so excited to use this book bingo to pick our reads along with the dice that they have so kindly put in the box for us. Before we get into our first dice roll, highly recommend checking out Burga for all of your device case needs to protect your cases but also look cute and stylish. I love pulling up to the coffee shop with all my devices matching. Another thing that's really fun, mix and match. You can match your phone cases with your computer cases and whatever it may be. It's really fun. They have so many cute designs on there, and not only will your cases look cute, but you're protected as well. You guys can buy 4 Burga cases and only pay for 2, which is amazing, whether you want to share it with friends or buy it as a gift. You can use my link, which is linked in the description, and you can also enjoy an extra 15% off with my code SarahX15. There's also a QR code you can scan. So if you're looking for gifts for friends or family, you can get the 4 Burga cases and only pay for 2. Again, link is in the description. And thank you, Burga, for sponsoring today's video and for helping us come up with an idea to pick our next read. We're gonna roll the dice, and whatever number we get to is what we're gonna pick for the book bingo, and it gives you a prompt of what to read next. So for example, number 8, read a book with a color in the title. I'm gonna go over to my physical TBR or my TBR, my Fable app, and we'll decide what book goes along with that prompt. Let's see what book prompt Burga has provided with us for our first read. I'm so excited. I love when something else picks or helps me pick what to read. It's really motivating and inspiring. So let's do our first dice roll. I'm gonna roll it on my bed over here. Let's see what we get. We've got number 5. We have a 4 and a 1. Let's see. Number 5 says, read a debut novel. Okay, that is our first prompt. I'm gonna go pick out a few on my physical TBR or on my just mental TBR that I'd like to read that are debuts, that are on my radar. and we'll get into our first pick. This is so exciting. Okay, I actually don't need to go through my physical TBR. I walked over to my TBR cart and I immediately picked this one up and I was like, yep, that's a debut novel and that is the one we're gonna read. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I've been seeing so many people give it such high ratings and telling me they think I'd really enjoy it, and I just recently bought it at Barnes & Noble this week in order to read it, specifically hopefully this week, so I'm literally so happy that we rolled that 5 and that I got to pick this as one of our books, and that is The Bright Years by Sarah DeMauve. I am literally ecstatic to read this. Under 300 pages, and it's a general fiction, kind of like a generational novel about a family, and I think you get the point of view of all of the characters, and you get the timeline of these two people before they have their kid or something like that, and they have these secrets from each other, and then you grow up and you learn the child that they have's point of view of, you know, this family dynamic that they have now and growing up with these parents that lie to each other, and it's just like a bunch of family issues. And you guys know I love not only a family drama, but just like family secrets and stuff like that. It's really interesting to me, so I'm so excited to read this. I've been wanting to read it for so long, so this is a great start to today's video. Shout out to Berga, shout out to the book bingo, and let's start this book. I literally could not be more excited. It's too early on to admit this, but I'm loving this. I'm really loving the writing style specifically. We've only been in, actually we have 2 point of views. The first like beginning chapter prologue is in the male main character, I guess, the point of view, Ryan's point of view from when he was really young as a child, and we got his parents dynamic and his growing up and kind of what happened there very briefly. And now we're in Lillian's point of view, more specifically like in the past few chapters, for when she met Ryan, when they got to know each other and their first date, and then they're growing up and getting married and everything. But it's, the pacing is so fast. Like we've gotten all these glimpses into all these big moments in their lives through her point of view. And what's really interesting is how they both have things and darkness from their past that her specifically doesn't talk about. Like she just keeps it to herself, but he talks about it. I know she's met his mom and everything, and he's very kind of like a bit more open about it, I guess, but they both have stuff from their past that they're not really talking about. They're kind of just like focusing on their relationship and the blissfulness of that. But like I said, the writing style of it, it's just like there's some quotes that just like are really good. They're really simple quotes, but there's something about the simple small quotes that hit really hard that I really love so much, even more than like the big, you know, declaration quotes that are always beautiful as well. But something about those like short ones that hit really do it for me. I'm only 45 pages in, by the way, and it's a shorter book, but like still I'm really enjoying just like the way the story is being told to us, and I can't wait to see like as it progresses like what's gonna happen, and the more we find out from like what the summary actually is. I know it's really early on, but I had to say that as I continue reading today. It's really fast paced, which I really like, and we're just getting throughout like the early years of their relationship. So I'm assuming what we're gonna get into next is them having their kid, and what's her name? I think it's Georgette? Yeah, Georgette. So I'm interested to see how we get there, because they both have different, you know, opinions and stuff because of their past of having kids and everything. So I don't know, we'll see what happens, but so far really good. Put on my eye patches, let's talk about The Bright Years, because I'm like thoroughly enjoying this, and I know it's gonna be done today because I don't have much left, and I'm just like trying to prolong it as much as I can. Like I could have finished this in one sitting. As soon as I started reading it, like I told you guys, I had this feeling that I was really gonna enjoy it, especially the writing style, and it has that bingeable, really great pacing of a story as well, and very emotional story that like you just can't put it down. But like I had to put it down because I didn't want to read it in one setting, but I definitely could have. And I think what the author did with the perspective and the point of views she's giving us is kind of like just ingenious, because we get Lillian's point of view. I thought we were gonna get everyone's point of view, but in the beginning, Lillian, we get her point of view and we see her falling in love and all of this different stuff, and we grow to understand her so well, and I'm so emotionally invested and connected with her, and we see her getting married, becoming a mother, and having all these feelings of seeing your child grow up. There's a quote in here that's really great about nostalgia as well, and like her having a child like years and years and years ago that she doesn't know anymore, but then becoming a new mother and all the feelings that are involved in that as well. I feel like her feelings feel very realistic, and it feels like a real emotional depiction of motherhood and getting married and being married to someone that's struggling with alcohol and all of that. I just feel like it's done really well, and it feels very real, and I've connected so hard with Lillian. Like I said, there's like nostalgia a lot in Lane's point of view, and just like mourning your child growing up. Like all of a sudden she's going into middle school and she's not a little baby, and we've seen her grow. We've seen Jet, her child Georgette, grow, and there's like the feeling of your child growing up like not, you know, needing you anymore. Like I think getting Lillian's point of view, like I said, it was just the best choice, I guess, because of how the story goes and her being a mother and what she's going through. I also think seeing Ryan through her point of view is really interesting, because we know the Ryan of the past, but then seeing the Ryan of after a child and starting to become more like his dad and everything, it's so interesting because we know how Ryan could be and was with Lillian, so we understand the hard choices that she has to make. But yeah, eventually we start getting Jet's point of view, and that's where I think the story started to change a bit more, because we've seen her grow through Lillian's eyes, so then actually getting her point of view and seeing like her parents through her eyes and everything, it's just such a different, you know, scenario. Last night I teared up so many times, like so many times. So many things unexpectedly happen, but the story just feels so real. I think it handles what every character is going through really, really well. Like I said, I don't want it to be over. Like, it's such a heavy story at this point. Like, a lot of hard things have happened, but it also feels very like moving. There's like a lot of different things in here that I think the author touches on that could be relatable to a lot of people and is dealt with really well, and I'm just really, really enjoying it like so much. And we've seen Jet grow up. Like, we saw her in the late 90s, now we're in like the 2010, I think, or something like that, maybe a little bit later, and I think I have like 50 pages left, and I'm gonna be really sad when it's over, but I'm very interested to see how it ends, how we round it up, because I feel like all the relationship dynamics are still a little bit rocky right now, but that might be kind of like the point of it. You know, you might not always have the most picture perfect family. It's time to finish. I've been prolonging this ending for so long. I keep like putting the book down. I'm gonna be real sad when it's over, I think, but it's time to finish it today. It is. I actually have to get ready to go somewhere, so I'll be back with final thoughts. I don't know if I can speak on it right now anyway. I've composed myself from the end of this book. I just got ready. I thought about my thoughts. I already knew, honestly, from the beginning, which was crazy, how I felt about this book. This is, if not my favorite, but one of my new favorite books, period, but also just like of the year. I love this so much, and I don't want to say too much on my thoughts and where the story goes, because you're honestly just following these characters in this family and a lot of generational trauma, and there's a lot of themes in here that are touched on that are really like written beautifully in the way that they're described. And something that I found in a lot of books that are kind of like my favorites, kind of follow different, not only just point of views, but things that people go through that I may not ever go through in my life, but characters that aren't picture perfect and don't have picture perfect lives and have happy endings, but they feel real and they have real issues and trauma and things that are going on. That's like exactly what this book was. I feel like it's a very powerful book, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the writing style. I can't believe this is a debut. I need her to come out with more books because I need to read more of her work. I really empathize with every single character that we followed in here, and being in like their different point of views and seeing the different parts of the families through their like eyes really helped, you know, understand the choices that they had to make, and a lot of difficult choices are made in this book. I think this book just kind of really shows that no families are perfect, especially being in like a parent's point of view too. Like, no parents are perfect and everyone's doing it for the first time, and you really get that in here. But I think the central theme is just like love, showing up for your loved ones again and again, no matter like what they're going through, what they're doing. If you don't understand why they're doing what they're doing, just like love is like the center of it all, especially in like a family setting and dynamic. You have this love that it doesn't go away no matter what they do to you or to your family or whatever. Again, I'm trying to be very vague with it, but that's all I'm really gonna say on this one. I really enjoyed it, and I think these characters are really strong, and especially Lillian, you know, holding on when things get hard. She was just very resilient, and I really enjoyed it. It's also a shorter book. It was so fast paced, and I'm so happy I read it. I had a feeling I was gonna really enjoy it, and you know when you want to read a book that you think is gonna be 5 stars but you keep putting it off because you think you're gonna love it? I was doing that with this book, and I'm so happy I finally got to read it. So thank you to Berga and our book bingo. I'm gonna stop rambling about that one. We're gonna move on to our next book. I have our book bingo over here. We have our little dice. I'm gonna roll this, and we're gonna see what book we're gonna be reading next. So I'll give you guys the point of view of the dice this time. All right, here we go. What did we get? We got 5, 6, 7, we got 10. Number 10, read a book in a genre you rarely pick up. There's a few genres I think we can go into with this one. Primarily, I read romance, so I think we can go into general fiction or even historical fiction. Could be really fun. Maybe we can go into that because I've been wanting to read more historical fiction. Or I think we go into either fantasy or mystery. I haven't read many mysteries this year. I feel like a few years ago I was really primarily reading romances and mystery. So right now I'm still like not in the mood for fantasy. I do feel like fall creeping up may put me back into a fantasy era, but right now I think I'm gonna do either a mystery or historical fiction. I don't know. I'm gonna browse my physical TBR and browse, I don't know, maybe my Libby, maybe my mental TBR in my Fable app, and I'll pick our next book. I'll let you guys know what it is. We'll start our next book. I'm very excited. I'm on like a perfect track right now. I feel like my recent reads have been pretty good, especially coming off from a 5-star. That doesn't happen very often, so hopefully the next one is not as good, but good enough. It is the next day. I have chosen Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I actually picked this up a few weeks ago. When I was like in my peak slump, I picked this up to read because I've seen so many amazing reviews, and I was like flipping through at Barnes and the chapters looked pretty short. I got like 8 pages in and I was like, I just can't, it's not holding my attention. So I thought it would be fun to read now because obviously this genre is out of my comfort zone. It's more of like a general fiction mystery genre mix, and it's really interesting. The beginning's very slow, so that's why I put it down the first time, but like pushing through the first like 40 pages, something is brought up and it piques my interest. Like the mystery part comes into it. Essentially what I've gotten so far of the story is this family. There's a dad and 3 children that live on this very isolated place, and there's a bunch of like sea animals around. There's penguins. It's just them on this very secluded, isolated island. The kids are like growing up on this land. They've been there for like 8 years or so, and they're supposed to leave in like 6 weeks or something like that, but the water's coming in and it's not looking good. And then this woman shows up from like a shipwreck, and she like looks like she's about to die, but she makes it to kind of like save her a little bit, but the family doesn't know why she's there. And we get all the point of views of all of the children, the father, and also the woman that was washed ashore. So it's really suspicious. Like everything about it is so suspicious, and I think that's what's keeping my interest, because the mystery element of it is like, what's the woman doing there, how is she connected to this, and also what is the family like, what have they been doing on this island for 8 years, like what is their point to it, because there's like the seed situation, which I'm not going to get into because I feel like that's something you don't learn in the summary. You can definitely learn obviously once you start reading, so I'm not gonna say too much. But at first I was like a little bored with it, and then we got like a few pieces to the mystery and I was like, I'm hooked now. Like I need to know why they're here, why she's here, what's happening, how they're gonna get back, and how they're gonna figure this all out. So I'm definitely interested now. I'm very into it. People did say that the audiobook for this is good, so I might audiobook maybe a little bit of it tomorrow, but I'm very intrigued to see what's gonna happen. I feel like all of the characters are just so mysterious, and they all have pieces to them that like I want to know more. I want to know more about each of them. And everyone's just a bit sus to me. Everyone's suspicious. I think the writing and the pacing is a little bit slow, but I feel like it's picking up now. We're getting to know, you know, the land that they're on, which is, like I said, so isolated, but it feels like this family is like part of the land, especially the kids. The one daughter is like, she lives with the animals basically. Like they always say like she's better in the water. Like it's just so interesting to see. And the nature that she's describing is just, it's really interesting. It's like so many new things. And the one little kid, one of the sons, like 9 years old, and like he's very charming. Like he's just really cute, especially with this new person finally that they haven't seen anyone new in so long, and finally this new person is there. So he's kind of very like, I don't know, asking a bunch of questions and giving stuff away. So I'm gonna keep reading. I'm about to hit 100 pages, so we'll see what goes on now. I feel like the story is gonna pick up and we're gonna get all those like missing puzzle pieces. So far so good. I'm happy I picked this one, and I'll give you guys a further update when I get further in. I just wanted to say I'm enjoying it, my interest is piqued, and I need to know more about this whole mystery element of the book. So I will come back probably tomorrow or whenever I get further in, and we'll see what happens. But so far, so good. One thing I'm really enjoying about this book, which usually in other books that I read, if it's overly descriptive of a place, of what we're seeing, I kind of check out. I'm kind of bored. I'm like, I don't need all these descriptions. Let's get on with the story. But in this one, it's such attention to detail to the nature and the describing of everything around them and the place that they're at, that it feels like another character in a sense. And it's so interesting, even if I don't know the type of nature they're talking about, or the plants and the seeds and the animals or whatever it is, it's such like a visceral part of the story that like you need to pay attention to that, because it's like the land that they're on, they're the only humans on it, and it's just like the nature and the animals and everything surviving on their own. It just feels so freeing to see that in a way, which I'm reading this, and while I'm reading, I'm locked in, I'm invested, I can't really put the book down, and then when I close it and I walk away, I'm like not inclined to pick it back up. I'm like, I'm okay, I don't really care that much. But then when I'm reading, I'm really into it. So it's like picking it back up and getting back into it is a little hard for me. I'm not really like invested when I'm not reading it, but when I'm reading it, it's like I'm invested, and it's the mystery of it all that's coming out so slowly that's like I need more. It's interesting, the two switches that you have, where it's like a slow pacing part and you're seeing Rowan getting closer to these people but also being wary of them, but then also the other side of it where it's like, okay, little pieces to the puzzle are coming in and I need to know the full story. I really, really do. I still don't really know, like, I'm trying to think of like the end of the mystery, and like whenever I'm reading something that has a slight mystery, or even just reading in general, for some reason I can't just relax and read the book and let the pieces be revealed to me that way. Like I have to always constantly think about like, how is this gonna end? What's the real story? So my theories in my head, like I can't even think of any. Like I don't even know what really happened, and I have like a few ideas, but I don't even think I'm nearly as correct as what the actual story is. So I'm pretty invested now. Something just happened that was like shocking, and I like that we get all of the characters' point of views because they're all different in the way they view where they're living. It's very different from anything I've ever read, which I guess is perfect for the prompt out of my comfort zone. Also, off topic of like the actual story in the book, I've read like so many hardcovers recently, and I honestly not hating it. I used to be a big hater of like holding a hardcover and reading a hardcover because it was so uncomfortable. Obviously in comparison to a paperback and a Kindle, it's not as comfortable, but I kind of love it. I don't really mind them anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna go back in. I feel like I'm over halfway now. I feel like you can kind of tell. Maybe I am halfway. I don't know. It looks like I'm over halfway now. Maybe like 55-60% of the way through. And I'm so interested to see as the time goes where they have to get off the island, like what's gonna happen. I don't know. I just need to know what happened prior to Rowan getting on the island and what she was coming to the island for. We kind of know, but like not in full, and she just told us one other thing at the end of like her last chapter, and I'm like, there's so much we don't know. You think you know everything, but you don't really. So yeah, I'm gonna go back into it. I'll give you guys final thoughts when I finish it, but so far so good. That is not what I expected at all. Wow. I have not binged a book like this in such a long time. Like genuinely could not put the rest of this book down. And like I said, when I was reading it, couldn't put it down either. But the last like maybe it was like 70-ish pages of this book. I just sat here just now and I completely binged it. I could not stop reading. I couldn't look up for a second, didn't have any need to touch my phone, and it was just like so adrenaline pumping. Usually I like wait a little bit to give my final thoughts on a book, but I feel like I know how I feel on this. It was so good. It was so much more than I thought, especially in the beginning. It's very slow pacing. I think a lot of the book is pretty slow pacing, and then once you get those like puzzle pieces I keep talking about, especially towards the end, you know, adrenaline picks up, a lot is happening, like not even just with the characters and the storyline and the mystery coming together, but like with the nature of the island and the wind and the storm and everything. Like it just adds so much to it. I really just appreciate the author describing this island and, you know, making sure to nurture the animals and trying to keep everything safe for living and to keep these seeds and whatever it is. But I read at the end of it, like she went to this island that this island is based off of, and she wanted to like describe and how it feels to step on the island, and I feel like she did that justice for sure. And I just never knew where the story was going. Like the entire time my curiosity was just completely piqued, and I was like, I need to know the full truth of everything. And I think the themes of family in here and being like a parent as well and keeping your family close and the things that divide you guys but also the things that bring you together was pretty big in here. And I really enjoyed seeing each character, especially their point of view. I'm really happy about all their point of views in here. And I think the only reason this isn't a 5-star, it's so close to a 5-star, but the only reason it's not, I think the pacing, like I said, just some parts were a bit too slow for me and the descriptions were a bit too much, even though they were beautiful. And I think it really helped the story and gave the whole island like its own character in the book. I do think it was a bit slow in the beginning, and there's a few moments in here that where the miscommunication was a bit too much. Like I was just like, please just say something to each other about, you know, the big elephant in the room. And I think that just kind of like made me a little bit annoyed at points, but like not in like a huge way. I think I'm just being nitpicky. But this was really close to being a 5-star. Like I cannot believe our last 2 reads have been so amazing. I would highly recommend this book, especially if it's not in your genre or what you normally read. Like I said, this is out of my comfort zone and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't end up listening to the audiobook though. I just like was so enraptured. I was like, I don't even want to put it down to listen to the audiobook. I need to keep going. This Burga dice roll prompt thing, honestly, are we about to go 3 for 3 for another great book? I don't know, we'll see. I think I'm gonna roll now just to know what book I'm gonna get into next. I probably won't start it until either later or tomorrow. I think I need a bit of a break after finishing this one. Let's pick our next book and get into our last book of the video. I'm really excited to see what this dice picks for me next because we are on a roll here. Here are the dice. I literally haven't moved them since we rolled last time, so let's do our final roll. Okay, we have 6 and 4, which makes 10. Did we already get 10? I think we just did 10. A book in a genre you rarely pick up. Okay, we're gonna do one more roll because I don't want to do the same prompt. Alright, we've got 12, which is read a book that is part of a series. I'm gonna go through my TBR cart and my shelves and let's pick a book that is part of a series. I don't really know what series I'm in the middle of right now. Honestly, I haven't really been focusing on that as much as I probably should, but I'm gonna go through, pick our next read, and I'm very excited. I'm feeling very motivated right now after our last 2 reads, so let's see what we've got. As you saw, I started Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan, and this is part of the Skyland series, so this is the 3rd and final book. They're all interconnected, following 3 best friends. You have Yasmin in the first one, Soledad's the second one, and now we're following Hendrix, which we've seen Hendrix in the first 2, obviously, so I feel like I knew her a little bit, even seeing her as like a side character. And I've actually gotten the chance, luckily enough, to hear Kennedy Ryan talk twice in my life, which is just such a great, insane opportunity because I love her as an author and a person, and her writing and everything. Like I just really thoroughly enjoyed the series. I really need to get into some of her other books as well, but I wanted to finish this one up before starting any of her other series. I have Real on my TBR too that I really want to get to. But anyway, into this book. We're following Hendrix and Mavericks. We have 2 point of views in here, which I really appreciate, and Hendrix, our female main character, she kind of just like is living a life. She has a great job. She's a manager for a lot of modeling people in the industry. Like she just is a big manager, and she also has this other fun that she's doing, and she does a lot in her work life, and you know, she makes a lot of of money, she's a strong woman, and you know, she doesn't really need anything else. She has a great best friend, she has a great life, and she's living it. She's also childless by choice, so she doesn't want children, and that's kind of a thing that people kind of question her on. But she's also caring for her mom, who just got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so that's kind of like a struggle that she's been going with and grappling with the, you know, severity of what her future is going to look like with that. And then we have Maverick, who we're following, and he is basically a billionaire, and he just got out of a relationship because they had differing views on things, and they meet at a party, and it's kind of like insta-lovey in a way, but they meet almost not just like in a physical attraction way, but they connect emotionally because they've both gone through something very relatable, and he's able to see her in a way that not many people have. So right off the bat, there's a connection there. But it's a sticky situation because his ex, there's like an entanglement going on where she works with his ex, so she can't really cross any boundaries right now because her job is very important to her, and she always says, you know, I will not lose my job or my life or give anything up for a man. He's pursuing her pretty hard right now, and she's kind of saying like no, even though she wants to, even though she's connected, she can feel the connection. They're also working together in the business world in a few ways, but yeah, he's very much pursuing her. He's kind of like, the yearning is definitely there. I'm not obsessed with their relationship. I can feel it and I can understand it, and I can understand her reservations and also understand why he's pursuing it, but I'm not like totally obsessed, I don't think. One thing I love, like I said, is Kennedy Ryan's writing style. Her stories I've read so far feel so realistic to what women specifically, but just like what people go through in their lives and romances and everything. And in each book in the series, the women are going through something pretty difficult and have gone through difficult things, and I feel like that can be relatable to a lot of people. But not only that, the way it's described, it feels, again, really realistic. I really enjoy that. Her writing style is so fast-paced. I didn't even say, but I am over halfway. Couldn't put this book down yesterday. Once I'm in it, I'm in it. I don't know if I'm like totally in the mood for this one, but I knew out of all of the books on my TBR shelf that were part of a series, this one was like most likely gonna get a high rating because I've loved the other two books in the series, and plus this is gonna end the series for me, so I wanted to complete that. But yeah, I've been wanting to read this since it came out. I've been so excited to get Hendrix's story after seeing her as a side character in the first two, because her, you know, opinions and dynamic and her like life path is so different from the first two, so I was really excited about that. Right now I feel like things are progressing, but she's still kind of shutting it down for her own reasons, which are valid, but I'm excited to see like how she gets over that and how they kind of like give in to each other, because you can tell they're so perfectly matched for each other, but like there's outside things that aren't letting them be together, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna continue reading today. I'm going to my Pilates class soon, and then after that I'm going to go to like my coffee shop and read a bit there. I read so much yesterday, I literally couldn't put it down. But yeah, I'm gonna go continue reading. I'll give further updates. I feel like someone's mowing the lawn. I don't have many other opinions on it just yet. I like the writing style. I'm enjoying our characters. I think the romance and like what's happening, the push and pull, is a bit frustrating, but other than that, I'm excited to see them actually, you know, give in to each other. So I'll come back with further updates later. I'm gonna read a bunch today and we'll see how it goes. Quite literally binged the rest of this book today. I started listening to the audiobook right after my Pilates class, and I read on and off from the audiobook too. The audiobook is so good. Highly recommend, if you're gonna read this, to try out the audiobook, because I really enjoyed both voice narrators for them, and I find listening to audiobooks for me gives everyone just so much more personality, and I really appreciated that. And like the humor within the dialogue, I feel like really comes out when the voice actors are actually like acting it out a bit. So really liked the audiobook. This was such a good end to the Skyline series, especially in the epilogue. I feel like the female friendships and the female relationships and just female empowerment in this whole entire series is so good. And Hendrix and her two best friends, they're just like platonically soulmates, and you can just feel that so much in this entire series. And what I really appreciate about it is they found each other in their like late 30s, early 40s, and it just shows you don't need to meet them earlier on in life. Like you can still meet your soulmate best friends at any point, and their relationship is just so amazing throughout the entire series. But especially in this one, I feel like also because it's like the end of a series, so there's a bit more scenes of that, and I love their friendship so much. But as for our two characters, I really enjoyed them in this book. I will say the book felt a little bit too long because there's a lot of like side things going on. We're not just focused on their relationship. It feels a bit dragged out in there because there's a lot that needs to be wrapped up by the end of it, but I also appreciate it because Kennedy Ryan doesn't shy away from like not just heavier topics in here, but like in her acknowledgement she said like weightier topics, and I feel like that's definitely true, because in all of the books there's something that's not just like rom-com-y romance, like there's a lot of other like kind of heavier type of situations going on. And she said how, you know, in other genres they don't shy away from those type of topics, so why not in romance? And I totally agree, and I think that's why I love this series so much, because it falls more on like the emotional side of it, and I really enjoyed that. As for Maverick, like our male main character, the things that he steps up and does for Hendrix throughout the entire book, and also the sacrifices he makes for her, like I just thoroughly enjoyed his character. He was perfectly made for her, and I said this in a previous video, sometimes in romances in the beginning I'm like I can't see them together by the end of it, but in this one as soon as they met, even though it was a bit insta-lovey, like I can completely see them together. Like they were definitely made for each other, and he was just the perfect man for her. I think she just really needed someone like him, and her giving into it, I really enjoyed that, because like seeing her be happy and lean on someone when she's been like not by herself, but like doing everything herself, having someone for her now do that for her was just so nice to see. And I loved Hendrix's character. I've loved her since the beginning too, just seeing her as a side character like I said, so it was so nice seeing her, you know, find love and just be happy in that way and have a person. So thoroughly enjoyed this one. I'm so happy with the ending of the series. I am sad that it's over. In the back of it there's a little map of Skyland, which I thought was really cute. It's like a little graphic of it. It has a bunch of like the places and stuff, so I thought that was really cute. You know when you binge a book and like you're sad it's over and then you read it so fast and you wish you savored it, but like I couldn't stop listening. I was like, I need to know what's gonna happen, because like I said, there's so many side things that needed to be wrapped up that I was like, I need to know how we're getting to the end of this. But I loved the ending of it. I thought it was a really great read. I do think it was just a little bit too long, and the beginning was just a little bit insta-lovey, but like it made sense as the relationship kept going. But this was honestly great reading vlog. Shout out to Berga and the book bingo. We found some great reads in this video. Honestly, I can confidently say slump is gone, which is literally so amazing. I'm so happy about it. Happy Book Lovers Day to everyone watching this. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you're gonna read any of these books. I'm still thinking about The Bright Years, by the way. I can't stop thinking about it, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see y'all hopefully in the next one. Bye!